Hello everyone, on today's episode, the 1 Year Life Challenge, we're going to talk about 5 ways to truly embrace the only thing you have, which is the present moment. Hello everyone, today I want to talk about how we consistently reject the present moment and the suffering that brings into our lives, and 5 key ways to overcome that. So as always, I'm going to begin with a quote on this topic, and the quote is, "As soon as you honour the present moment, all unhappiness and struggle dissolve, and life begins to flow with joy and ease. When you act out the present moment awareness, whatever you do becomes imbued with a sense of quality, care and love, even the most simple action." The great Eckhart Tolle. My personal story is, as I look back at my life and the unsatisfactory nature of life that I lived previously to me coming to this understanding or this awareness, is what I call horse trading moments. And I talk about this to people all the time. I was consistently horse trading. So I was saying, well, I don't feel good now, but when I get that house I'll feel great, or when I get that promotion I'll feel great. So I was rejecting this moment in lieu of another future moment and trading them. So trading my happiness now, going, well, I can't be happy because I'm worried about this next paycheck. So I will trade that in the future and just be an unhappy person in the hope that I get something else. Now that works for a little while until you consistently become disappointed that in the future you don't get that special moment because it feels just like you did before, because you trained your muscles, you trained your brain into constantly horse trading. And even when you got the house, you were constantly thinking about the additions or how to protect it or what would happen if you lost it. So you were constantly training that mechanism. And today I want to talk about how to stop rejecting the current moment. To be very clear from a scientific perspective, the current moment is a collapsing of the infinite realm of possibilities which is carried through the waveform into a single quantum of time in which we all exist as a subjective, unified, conscious observer. That's a bit of a mouthful, but that's how it works, right? So what I'm really saying is that this second right here of watching this video is incredibly important, and interlinked within that second is all the life force, all the beings, all the atoms of matter are all linked to this current moment. So when you say, this is no good, this moment, or you daydream and reject it or think about the past, you know, you've got a lot to speak for, because ultimately we are all present in this moment. This is all of our moments, and when we reject it, we're really not living to our true selves. Now, for me, I always had this feeling, I don't know if you guys can relate, but this feeling that it's not quite good enough. Like, where I am right now is not quite good enough. And even when the circumstances were great, something was missing. There could always be a little bit more. There could always be, it could be a bit sunnier, a bit warmer. You know, the car could have this additional feature. And there was always that nagging sense that the story wasn't right. You know, this story hasn't panned out exactly how I thought it would. I thought by now, by the age of 30, I would have had this or that. You know, and that really eats away and destroys you. In fact, one of my favourite stories is when Julius Caesar went on his triumphant march through Rome with all the acquisitions he had taken from Egypt, because he'd just conquered Egypt. He broke down crying on what should have been the happiest day of his life. And when he was asked by one of his generals why he was crying, he looked back, and one of the relics that they'd stolen from Egypt was a statue of Alexander the Great. And Julius Caesar had realised that Alexander the Great had conquered Egypt at around 21 and he was 30. So you can see how this ridiculous concept of your life story and how it should meet all these factors can constantly bring disappointment. My saying, which I've said in other videos, what you do sometimes, you do always, should be at the heart of our philosophy moving forward. This moment is all you have, and to reject it means you reject everything you have. When you leave this moment, you leave power, and you become susceptible to suffering. Suffering can never happen in the moment. It can only happen through mind-made objectives. Pain can definitely happen in the moment. You can cut your leg or cut your arm and feel some pain. But once you accept that in the moment, it goes. It changes. All things will pass. When you then don't accept it and say, I want things to be different, suffering creeps in. And you can eliminate suffering from your life. People have done it. Enlightened people do it all the time. You won't remove pain because we need pain. Pain is a direct line teacher to the truth. But suffering can go, it's unnecessary. Ruminating about an old boyfriend or girlfriend that might have treated you wrong, all those things that you carry around with you, let's just get that backpack off, it's hurting our shoulders anyway. and let's move forward with a clean, fresh moment. So quite often you'll hear me talk about the Tao, and I just want to sort of touch on that so we have an understanding. When I say the Tao is very simple. The Tao is the way of things, without label. It is just the way it is. You know, the Tao is, whether it's hot, sunny, windy, cold, it's just the Tao, and the Tao is perfect. No matter how much your little monkey mind might tell you that the Tao isn't perfect and today is too rainy, that's just your monkey mind. It doesn't make the Tao wrong. It's your monkey mind that's doing that. So how do we accept this moment? How do we stop rejecting the current moment, and how do we move forward and embrace what is? Well, the first step is, as I touched on, don't horse trade moments, good or bad. When you train yourself to trade moments, and what I mean by trading moments is expecting it to be better some other time or thinking it was better in the past, you're trying to trade this present moment for something else. It doesn't work. It never works. It continually creates the karmic cycle of disappointment. Stop horse trading. Ask yourself, even when you're going through something that isn't perfect, this is the moment. This moment is perfect. There's something here to teach me. I'm going to be fully aware and present. It's really incredible to do, because all of a sudden you don't have to think, because remember, horse trading or trading moments requires thinking of future or past. It was better in the past, it's going to get better in the future. You can assign your attention to the current issue, and if it's not perfect, you can fix it, because you can generate complete awareness, understanding and consciousness and direct it at the thing that might not be super fun, and you can make it better. You can't fix anything by dreaming it away. It just doesn't happen. You might have read The Secret and things like this. It doesn't work. What works is being completely present and accepting what you have. If you change your expectations for appreciations, you'll immediately become happy. Something to think about. Number 2, unlabeled spontaneous action. Now this is from the heart of Zen, but more importantly, before Zen, which is just simply evolution, spontaneous action with unlabeling. Do what you do without thinking, and it will always be right. It will be in line with the Tao. See, the Tao is all things. So the sun didn't think, how do I generate enough gravity to pull these rocks into orbit, to create the planets, to create a solar system which will allow me to sit on the edge of a spiral galaxy and, do my part. It didn't think. We could never create these things through thinking. We could never create a planet. We could never create a solar system, right? So start to understand that intelligence does not exist in thinking about doing things. Intelligence exists through you in spontaneous action. Act spontaneously and unlabel it. Yes, there'll be things that you think you didn't get right by being spontaneous, but if you don't think about them, then you continue to live spontaneously and be within the Tao. Labeling and judgment just creates resentment and puts a roadblock on you moving forward. Number 3, remove expectations. You've heard it said before, if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plans. This is the thing, right, is that your expectations are ridiculous, ludicrous movies projected onto information you don't have about how you may like things to pan out given the current set of circumstances. You can see how volatile that is and how it can go wrong, because sometimes you change the things you like. If you like pizza now and you have an expectation that you have pizza every Friday, then you stop liking pizza, then what do you do with that expectation? You can see how it's a real moving goalpost and just creates problems. Your expectation should be how things exactly are. You are a collective consciousness working together with a group of trillions of other organisms to create the now. Don't expect it to be any different. It's not going to be different. Your expectations of it being different are not going to help. Your appreciations of how it is will bring your energy forward. Number 4, don't carry backstories. Here's our back. Here's the stories we put on it. Maybe that's why they call it backstories. And geez, it's a lot harder going through life with that backpack. But when you can drop it, just be free. Continue to act spontaneously. The prism and filter, the sunglasses you wear with all your stories on it, add no value. Fresh, present forgiveness and letting go from this moment is where all space and all good things will come from. The void, the nothingness that everything comes from, which will deliver exactly what you need, not always what you want, but what you need, will be easily and more readily available when you drop the backstories. You are not your stories, you're the awareness of your stories. So why carry them around? You get new, better stories coming up, guaranteed. And the final way to stop projecting the moment is very simple. You know that voice in your head? Yeah, you got it. I know you got that voice. It doesn't mean you're crazy. We don't talk about it much, but that little nattering voice, don't answer it. If you had some lunatic walk up to you on the street and start asking you questions and you were busy and you couldn't, you didn't want to answer those questions and you knew that answering those questions would make you late for work and create real problems and this dude might even get aggressive, you just wouldn't answer them. That's that simple, right? That voice in your head who's constantly nattering, don't start a conversation with it. That's what it wants, It wants to draw you into a conversation that removes you from the now and starts this ridiculous, verbal conversation in your head. Now, I know you know what I'm talking about. A lot of people think I'm crazy when I talk about this stuff, but I know you know. That voice that's talking, don't answer it. If it says, hey, that person, I think they really wronged you, or gee, I think they did this, just go, okay, no worries. Don't answer it. The problem is created by the mind, the solution is created by the mind. Let's cut to the chase and just forget about that voice. That voice is not here to serve you. The way things are, the Tao, the manifest reality, the things in front of you are here to serve you. They've been brought forth in a material form by a low vibrational frequency to come into realization for you to be your best version of yourself. That voice is a redundant echo, echo, and you can't do anything with echoes. They're done. What is in front of you right now is reality. Embrace it spontaneously, deal with it, and move forward. The current moment is a present. That's why it's called the present. You can refuse it by thinking or trading it, or you can accept the present and enjoy it. We all know that when you accept the present and you get to enjoy it, that's where the juice is. If you keep rejecting presents in your life, then ultimately you'll never have anything satisfactory. It's at the core of what we're talking about. I can't wait to see you tomorrow, but until then, goodbye.